So I will ask you, what is this story next time? Only one will be successful. They ask you. Okay, so today we're going to start with one nice example that is a story that we can learn the teachings and also has slokas. And also it's related to the place we went last time. So last time we went on Parikrama to Dharma-kunda, Vimala-kunda, Kamyavana, Lakshman-jula, Adibadri, Kedarnath, Vrindadevi, all these places. So Kamyavana is the place where the Pandavas stayed for a long time during their exile. So when the Pandavas were there, many pastimes happened in that place. So there's like 3 or 4 pastimes that Gurudev talks about when the Pandavas were in Kamyavana, which we went to. Okay, so the first pastime is that one day the Pandavas were in the forest, and in all places in the forest you can't find water. You know, if you're not nearby a river like Kamyavana, we don't see some river there. Where's a pond, where's a lake? They were new in that area when they first started coming. So Yudhisthira told Bhima that go and find some water. Now we'll wait here under this tree. If we all search in all directions, it's tiring and we will not find each other. So I'm staying here with the Pandavas and Draupadi. You go and look for water. So Bhima went out. You've heard this story. So Bhima went out to look for water. And he went some distance to the forest, and then he saw many birds going in one direction and coming from one direction. So he thought, okay, some lake must be there. So he followed the birds and came to a lake. Then at the lake, he was very thirsty. He had 2-3 pots, but he thought, before I fill up the pots, let me drink. I'm very thirsty. So he went down to drink. As he was about to drink, a sound came, a voice. The voice said, before you drink this water, you have to answer my questions. If you don't answer my questions, you will die. If you try to drink water, I am the master of this lake. He's like called a Yaksha. Yaksha means like a special kind of spirit, but very powerful. Okay, so he said, first you answer my questions. If you don't answer my questions, then you'll die. So Bhima thought, oh, what is this? I'm Bhima, I'm so powerful. So many people have tried to fight with me and I've killed them. I'm not concerned. So he went to drink the water and he fell down senseless, like dead. So then Yudhisthira saw Bhima is not returning, so then he sent Nakula. Nakula went, he also found the lake, he's also thirsty, he saw Bhima there, but he thought, okay, no problem, maybe he's sleeping. Then he went down to drink the water, again he heard the voice. If you don't answer my questions first, then you will die. Okay? So he said, oh, what is this? I'm the Pandavas, you know, we are sons of the demigods. He went down to drink, again, died. Sahadev, same thing, again. So then Sahadev, Nakula, Bhima are all lying senseless. Then Arjuna went. Arjuna went to the lake, he found his 3 brothers. But you imagine, like, we doing Nirjal one day, then how thirsty, you know? So if you don't have water for a long time, then how thirsty you get. It's very difficult to control. And someone saying, oh Leela, before you drink water, you have to answer my questions. It's like, what is this nonsense? I'm drinking. You know, why would I listen to this? Also, Leela or me, we can imagine, but you are like such a powerful warrior, you can fight with 10,000 people. One Pandava, they can fight with 10,000 people same time. So he's thinking, oh, I have to... They're thinking like, oh, if I take the water without answering the question, he may come to fight me. But they're not as afraid. If he fights them, then they will easily kill him. They don't know there's some magic power. So anyhow, he went to drink, and then also Arjuna fell senseless. So last is Yudhisthira. So Yudhisthira went on the pathway, and Yudhisthira found the same place, right? So then Yudhisthira is Dharma-kunda. Yudhisthira is also like son of Dharma, and he is also very virtuous. So then when Yudhisthira came, he saw the situation, and he was also very thirsty. He went to drink also, but then he heard the voice and he said, okay, I will answer your questions. So then this Yaksha gave many nice questions, and these are given in this story. This place is called Dharma-kunda. We went there on one of the last places, Dharma-kunda. Okay, so Dharma-kunda is where this happened. So the first question the Yaksha asked is this: what is causing the sun to rise and set? What is the power behind the sun? If you ask this to scientists, they have one answer. If you ask other people, they have one answer. But, so which answer should we give? There can be many answers to this. But Yudhisthira is not hesitating. Immediately Yudhisthira said, oh, he who is Parameshwar, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna, the Supreme Controller, he is causing every... It is said in the Upanishads that only because of fear of the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality, is the sun rising, is the wind blowing, are the rivers flowing. Otherwise, the devas are controlling these natural forces. But if we don't, they are like, if you are sevak, and this is your job, and you're not doing, then, oh, why? Prabhuji chastising. If I am not coming, then Prabhuji chastising. So they are afraid, oh, sometime I want to sleep, but if we are not doing our duty, then we will be chastised by Narayan. So therefore everyone is doing. So Yudhisthira said, only by the power of the Supreme Lord, the sun is rising, the sun is setting, everything is going on in this universe. The demigods are administrators of the natural forces. And they are doing everything only by their duty given by Narayan. If they are not doing their duty, then they will not do it. That's why Purity says, people are very envious of position, right? Demigods have a high position, the demons think, I want their position. But position is there only if you're doing your duty. You have a high position because you're doing your job. This is competence. You are competent, you're doing your job well, therefore you get this position. So the demigods have this position only because they're doing their job nicely. They are managing the universal affairs. Okay? So then he said, good. Next question. So afterwards we'll do quiz. And I will say, you cannot take prasad until you answer all these questions. Otherwise, we'll have to decide some punishment. We will say, okay, before you take prasad, you have to answer these questions. And this is more easy for us because we don't have to understand answers already. We're just hearing and remembering and repeating. Okay, so first question, why does the sun rise? This is Parameshwar. This is like introductory question, easy question. Okay, like 2 + 2. But next question, more hard. So then next he asked 4 questions. What is heavier than the earth? What is higher than the sky? What is more fast than the wind? Okay, and what is more numerous than the blades of grass? So what is the answer? So then I'll tell the answer. So next time you have to remember though. So now you have to think, I'll have to answer, and if I don't answer, I'll get some strong punishment. So then your mind will be very strong. Why? I'll tell you one story. Okay? You understand now? So 4 questions, okay? We're quickly going now. 4 questions. What is more heavy than the earth? What is more high than the sky? What is more fast than the wind? And what is more numerous than blades of grass? So Yudhisthira said, no problem, okay? First one. More heavy than the earth? Mother. You're respecting your mother. She's tolerating so much. She's giving you so much love and affection. She's giving you her breast milk. She's maintaining you. Without our mother, we have like nothing, right? Therefore, you have honor. Heavier than the earth means you have honor for this. She is more heavy than the earth, then how much respect you have for mother. So then second, what is more high than the sky? You're respecting mother, but also respecting father. Father is more high than the sky. Father is giving direction, supporting, helping you grow. So also, in this world, we have one kind of mother and father, but also it is said in every birth, Sakala Janma Mata Pita Sabipai. Every birth we get mother and father, but do we get liberation from this samsara? Who is real mother and father? That Krishna Bhakti Janma Mool Hoy Sadhu Sangha. That person who is giving rise to Krishna Bhakti, that is mother, father. Sadhu and Guru. Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Diksha Guru father, Shiksha Guru mother. They are very important. Because also it said in Sastra, Guru na sasyat, svajano na sasyat. that one is not guru, one is not father, one is not mother, one is not friend or relative, if they cannot help you escape from this cycle of birth and death, because we don't really have birth. Soul is now asleep in Maya, Sangsara. It is like dreaming. We are in seed state. We have not had birth. This is only changing the skin and flesh. This is not real birth. This is like changing external cloth. You don't say, when you change one sweater and put on a new sweater, you don't say, I took birth. Bhagavad Gita says, Vasangsi janani yata vihaya navani granati naroparani tatha sarirani vihaya janani tato anyani sanyani dehi. That the body, the embodied soul, is taking on many types of clothes, like many bodies, species of life, in the 8,400,000. Each of these are like a type of clothes. And when you change your clothes, one pair of cloth is old and useless after you've worn it 10, 15 years. Then you change it, get a new one. So this is not birth. So who is really giving birth? That is Sadguru and Vaishnav. Guru and Vaishnav are like mother and father. And therefore Guru and Vaishnav is our... Why do we say Guru? Heavier than the earth is Guru. Guru means heavy. Lagu means light, Guru means heavy. So Guru is heavier than the earth. And Guru is also higher than the sky. Therefore, Tumeva Mata, Tumeva Pita, Tumeva Bandhu, Tumeva Saka. They are our real father, our real mother, our real friend in sadhu life. Okay? Next question. What is more fast than the wind? Krishna says in the Gita, Chamchalam himana Krishna pramati bhalavadridam. So now we're learning the slokas with this story also. Okay? The mind is more fast than the wind, and it's very more difficult to control. More difficult to control the mind than to control the wind. So Yudhisthira is saying the mind is more fast than the wind. Fourth, the thoughts that are coming through the mind of the living entities are more numerous than the blades of grass. Okay, so mother, heavier than the earth. Father, higher than the sky. Mind, faster than the wind. And thoughts, more than the blades of grass. Okay, next one. Ready? So we'll just finish this story and then we'll do sloka. Okay, so then this next one. Then he says, what is real dharma? What is the best dharma? And what is the great kind of tolerance? Best kind of tolerance. So Yudhisthira said, mercy, doya dharma kamul. The root of dharma is doya, mercy, compassion. Okay, that is real compassion. But what is real mercy? Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, greater than making 1,000,000 hospitals for dealing with the body is to bring one living entity who is stuck in the ocean of birth and death across the ocean of samsara to the transcendental land of divine love where Sri Krishna is living in Braj. So therefore Prabhupada said real mercy is to help emancipate the living entities, help them go to the transcendental abode. That is real mercy. Okay, so what is the best dharma? Mercy. And what is real mercy? You can say, I'm merciful, I'm feeding many people and opening many hospitals. But better you give Mahaprasad and you bring them in the Gaudiya hospital. And then from the Gaudiya hospital, they will be getting their real spiritual birth and going to the transcendental Vrindavan. That is real mercy. Next question, we're quickly going now. What is tolerance? Best kind of tolerance is, in life we have many kinds of struggles coming. Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibodhik. From our own mind, from nature, from other people. Many kinds of disturbances are coming. But you tolerate this, this is the best kind of tolerance. In nature you have summer, you have winter, okay? You have hot, you have cold, you have hunger, you have thirst, you have many people loss and gain, victory, defeat. You should tolerate all these things. There's two verses that go with this one. So these two verses you can note down, and also we'll revise later, and you can learn these slokas. Matra sparsas tu kunteya sutoshna sukadukada agama paino nityas tangstatiksha bharata. That person who is able to tolerate winter, summer, heat, cold, loss, gain, all these different things, that person is properly situated. That person is properly like real sadhu. Second sloka, that Krishna telling, Sukhe duke samay kritva labha labha jaya jayo tatho yudhaya yujasva naivang papam avapsyasi. That you should do your dharma in this world. For Arjuna, his dharma was like, you fight, don't be a coward. Don't think I will run away from my responsibility in life. Arjuna said, I don't want to fight, I think this is not proper. But Krishna said, don't run away from your duty. But if you do your duty but you are attached, then also you will commit sin. So he said, Sukhe duke, in happiness or in distress. Labh labao, in victory, jaya vijaya, in jaya ajaya, in victory or defeat, in loss or gain. Always be equipoised. That I am doing my dharma. Tato yudhaya yudhvasai naivang papam vapsasi. You will never get any sin in life if you are doing your dharma like this. I will do my duty. I am doing my duty to the Supreme Lord, to Guru, to Vaishnavas. Whatever they desire, I will do that. I'm not afraid of sin. I'm not afraid of piety. I'm not thinking about this punya and pap. I'm only thinking, what is my seva? What is my dharma? Seva parama dharma. Under anugatya, under guidance, what is my responsibility in life? And I will do that without fear. And whether I am victorious or whether I lose, whether I'm happy or whether I'm sad, this is not my concern. This is Krishna's responsibility. Sometime I'm doing something, oh, I won't be happy. Gurudev telling me to do something, oh, I don't like this instruction. Then this is not proper. Sukhe duke samay kritva. One should be equal towards happiness, distress, labh labao, victory, defeat, loss and gain. Then you will be victorious, meaning you will be successful in your responsibility, and you will never get any pap. Because Arjuna was afraid, this is pap. Krishna said, this is not sin. You do your duty. Okay? So these two slokas are important. Next one, now going forward. Next question. What is the most dangerous enemy of man? And very difficult to defeat, invincible practically. One question. Next question. What is this disease that is endless? As long as we are in samsara, we have this disease. Third question. Who is a real sadhu? Fourth question. Who is an asadhu? Who is saintly person? Who is not saintly person? 4 questions. What is the most invincible enemy? What is the endless disease? Who is a saintly person? And what is an unsaintly person, like a crook or villain? What is a bad person? First answer. In this part, Yudhisthira is saying anger, which is also transformation of lust, is the most dangerous enemy of mankind and very difficult to defeat. Okay? Second, that's why it said in Gita, another sloka, Kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samudbhava mahasana mahapapma vidyainam ihaverinam. The greatest enemy of the living entities is this lust which transforms to anger, which causes us to commit all these sinful activities in this world. So we must learn to control our anger, our lust, by being properly engaged in bhakti. Then everything can be sublimated in its proper function. Okay, so quickly, next one. What is the endless disease? As long as we're in this world, we may be very poor, we may be very sick, we may be very weak, or we may be very successful. We may have $1 trillion. We may be king of the whole world, but still we have material greed. Saying greed is the endless disease of the living entities. Whether we are poor, whether we are rich, whether we are beautiful, whether we are ugly, we all want more, We are not fulfilled in our desire. So we have to learn to conquer this material greed. So the Yaksha said, good. Next one. Who is a sadhu? Sadhu, you look at the case of Prabhuji. He is sadhu. What is Prabhuji doing? He is always serving everyone, how they can get their welfare, how they can advance, but also he is caring for them. Someone who is caring for everybody, serving everybody, that is real sadhu. With so much kindness and compassion, taking all burden, not for any benefit of themselves, not for like, oh, I will be famous, I will be so many people glorifying me. This is not sadhu. I am only doing everything. Why? Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Everyone is in the family of God. I am serving them. My mood is that I'm pleasing Krishna. I'm doing it only for Krishna, for Guru. I'm not doing it for these other people, but I'm serving them. Serving devotees. That's why we are in Bhaktabandhav. Bandhav means friendship and service. We are serving the devotees. We are serving the living entities. This is the nature of a sadhu. We're thinking, I will only worship the deity and everyone else, they can go to hell. And this is not sadhu's nature. Sadhu is serving everyone. Next. What is not a sadhu? Who is not a saintly person? Okay? Opposite. Someone who is always serving others is the sadhu. But someone who is always cruel, causing harm, violent. That's why it said hingsa, violence, killing animals who are innocent, killing babies, killing innocent creatures. This is cruelty. That such a person can never be a sadhu. It is said in Bhagavatam, Nivrittatar Sherupagiya Mana Bhavosada Shrota Manobiramat Ka Uttama Sloka Gunanavadat Puman Virejeta Puna Vina Pasugnat. Someone who is a murderer, a butcher, a killer, violent, they will not get this Bhagavat Dharma. They will not enter this Bhagavat Dharma because their nature is very cruel. They have to cleanse this. So Narad taught Mrigadi, the hunter, give up your violent nature, become a sadhu. He was not a sadhu, but by sadhu's power, he gave up his violence, he stopped killing the animals, and he became a sadhu. So it said, Yudhisthira said, someone who is always causing harm, they're always hurting others, and only to satisfy their senses. They're very lusty and greedy, and always for satisfying their senses, they will do anything. That is not a sadhu. Okay, so we'll revise really quick the whole story from the beginning, okay? So you remember the story, right? So now Yudhisthira is answering the questions. The first question is, what makes the sun rise? And he gave the answer, only the supreme power, Sri Krishna. Second question is, what is heavier than the earth? What is higher than the sky? What is faster than the wind? And what is more numerous than blades of grass? Okay, so the answer was mother, heavier than the earth. Father, higher than the sky. Third is mind, faster than the wind, and inside the mind, all the thoughts that come in the jivas is more than blades of grass. Okay, next question. What is topmost dharma? First. And second, what is best kind of tolerance or forbearance? Dharya. In our verse, Utsahanishchaya Dharyat, Upadeshamrita 3, Dharya means forbearance. Best kind of Dharya, forbearance is, so first, mercy. Mercy is said, you can, this phrase, not a full verse, but you need to learn this one. Doya dharma kamul. Mul is root. The root of dharma is doya, compassion. And we heard the highest kind of compassion is like Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said. This is important also to learn. You think, I will ask you in a quiz later, I'll say, what is the highest kind of dharma? Then you will say, okay, mercy. And I say, what is real mercy? What does Bhaktisiddhanta say? Then you have to be able to answer. Bhaktisiddhanta says that better than, this is his own quote, he said, better than 1 million hospitals. You imagine you are so wealthy, you can open 1 million free hospitals. Like in America, now everyone's fighting over this. Oh, we need free hospitals, free healthcare. But better than making free healthcare, free hospitals, is you take even one jiva out of this ocean of birth and death, meaning the ocean of samsara, or the cycle of birth and death, into his true spiritual nature, his Swarup Siddhi, give them their Swarup Siddhi. This is the greatest kind of mercy, the greatest kind of compassion. Okay, so this is the example we learned. Better than 1 million hospitals is that we learn that we can help one jiva even cross over this samsara and enter their Swarup, their true constitutional nature. Okay, so then next one, what is the greatest tolerance? And we learn 2 slokas with this. The greatest kind of tolerance, 2 slokas we learn. Matra sparsas tu kunteya sutoshna sukadukada, that you should tolerate the heat and the cold of winter and summer. You should tolerate all kinds of difficulties in nature, all kinds of difficulties by society. Tolerate this all and be equipoised like a sadhu. First one. Then second one, sukhe duke samay kritva laba laba jayo jaya tatho yudhayajasva naivam papam vapsasi. You should fight for the sake of fighting without considering victory or defeat, loss or gain, or happiness or distress, and thus doing thou shalt never incur sin. This is Krishna's instruction to Arjuna. No matter what happens, you do your dharma, don't think about the results. Krishna says, a third verse we should learn. Karmanye vadikaraste mafale sukadachana makarma fala heturbur matve sangusta karmani. This is a very important sloka also. Krishna says, you have the right to do your duty. Karmanya evadikaras, your adhikars to do your duty. And Prabhuji says, Karmanya eva. Eva means one. What is your one right? You have connection to Krishna and serve Krishna. This is your adhikar. But that you should not try to enjoy the fruits. This is tolerance. You should be tolerant. You should do your dharma, do your duty, no matter what is happening around you, without desiring to enjoy the fruits. But like this is called like nobility. This is called Arya Dharma. Arya means those who are noble, righteous. They are doing their dharma without any worry. they are victorious, not victorious, they are happy or not happy, we are doing our dharma. This is the second one. What is proper tolerance? And they will tolerate all troubles, they will tolerate. All kinds of, like Shakespeare says, the slings and arrows of this world. We'll tolerate everything. So now we're going forward. Remember the next one. What is the invincible enemy of the living entities? Then next, what is the endless disease? Third, who is a real saintly person and who is not a saintly person? These four. So we have one question, then four, then two, then four again, and then last four. It goes 1, 4, 2, 4, 4. Okay? So now, here's 4 questions, right? What is the invincible enemy? That is anger. And we learned the Gita slok. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajaguna smudva, mahasana, mahapapma, vidainami haverinam. That all-devouring enemy, which is like a fire that is devouring everything. You can imagine like such a powerful forest fire, you cannot defeat it. So that is lust and anger. Kama esha, krodha esha. When you don't satisfy your lust, it turns to anger, and that anger is very difficult to control. So that is our enemy. We have to try to defeat this enemy of anger and lust. Next question, what is the disease? Our diseases are greed. No matter how wealthy we are, how poor we are, how beautiful we are, whatever our position is, we're still greedy. You asked Yudhisthira or Dharmaraj. Lust is there, but lust and anger are coming from, like, they're connected. So in different places there's different answers. Here Yudhisthira gave this answer and Dharmaraj was happy, said good. So okay, then next one is greed. We heard about that one. Third one, so we need to conquer material anger, we need to learn what is anger also coming, like what is good anger. To conquer lust, anger and all these things, we have to use the positive side. The positive side of this is that when we develop so much mamata, so much attachment to Guru and Vaishnavas and to Krishna, positive attachment, when we develop this to such a powerful extent that when people are against them, we feel anger. That is good. Narottam Das Thakur said, Kam Krishna Arpane, offer your lust to Krishna, offer your anger to those who are against devotees. Greed also can be favorable. Offer your greed to become greedy for seva, become greedy for bhakti ras, become greedy for harikatha. You cannot destroy this thing by negating it. This is like on a scale. You have one thing on one side of the scale. If you want that to go up, you have to put something more heavy on the other side. Otherwise you think, oh, I'll just take this weight off. It's very heavy. You cannot take it off. No opening. Okay? After 10 minutes. Okay, so then you have to put something heavier. So what do you put heavier? Then you say, your last offer Krishna. Kam Krishna Arpane, in serving Krishna. Your anger, anyone attacking devotees, disturbing devotees, then you are angry. Like Hanuman destroying Lanka. Gurudev said this is humility. This is Trinadapi Sunichana. Hanuman burning down Lanka because he is stealing Sita. For Ram's sake, this is humility. This is proper use of anger. Okay, so if we can put this is called sublimination. It means making it like spiritualized. Okay? Otherwise, like lust, we cannot destroy lust. Lust is meaning calm, is part of the nature of the jiva. This means icha. They have this nature to desire. Desire, one type of desire is like lust. You cannot destroy desire, but you have to align desire properly in bhakti. Then it becomes proper. That's why we get Kam Gayatri. When we pray Kama Devaya Vidme, we are praying to Kamdev Krishna. Accept my Kam in your seva. And then we can transcend material lust. Otherwise we think, I will control myself so strongly by yoga, but never possible. That's why Prabhuji says, Vajra atuni faska geru. No matter how tight you bind the kopin, when the thunder strikes, it will burst apart. This is Prabhuji's saying. Vajra atuni faska geru. This is a Hindi saying. So therefore you make it so that you can be Digambar like Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami has no kopin, but still he has no material lust. He doesn't see difference between man and woman. He is completely transcendental beyond this. So then we can defeat lust. And how can we defeat this lust anger? Only Vikriditam vrajavadubi ridam cha vishnu shradanvito anasuyad atavarnayad bhakting param prati labhya kamam hridrogam asu apinoti achirena dira. You can defeat, because lust, anger is coming from lust. And you can only defeat this by taking shelter of Krishna's Ras Leela with the gopis, by hearing it, by speaking it, by remembering it. This is the process to defeat lust. First, lust is defeated, then first bhakti comes, bhakting param bhagavati. First you develop pure devotion, then lust goes. So this is also another important sloka to learn. Vikriditam vrajavadubir. This is after Ras Leela pastimes. Parikshit Maharaj said, how are we hearing about this Krishna dancing with other people's wives? Is this proper? So then he spoke this verse. He spoke two verses. Naitat samataraj. Don't try to imitate Krishna. You hear, you repeat, you remember, but don't try to imitate. Okay, so we'll go forward. Next question. Who is a sadhu? Sadhu is that person who is always doing seva for everyone without any desire for prestige, for fame, for money or anything. They're only serving. They're seva dharma. And this phrase we learn is seva parama dharma. The highest dharma here is seva. Seva parama dharma. The topmost dharma, seva. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tatparatvaina nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchite. Doing seva is bhakti. It is also said, bhajadatu iti sevayam. The root of the word bhaj, which is from bhakti, from bhajan, from all this stuff, is seva. So seva is our dharma. And seva and doya, mercy. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because before we heard about mercy being dharma. And here we're hearing about seva. So it is said, jive doya krishna nam sarva dharmasar. The highest mercy for the living entities, jive doya krishna nam, giving krishna nam sarva dharmasar. This is the essence. So Prabhuji's example of this, because he's always serving everyone with love and affection, with mercy. Prabhuji's example of mercy and seva. Perfect. Okay, and opposite, someone who is not serving, instead they are trying to control and enjoy everyone, and they're very cruel, very violent, harming others, only to satisfy their own senses. That is not a sadhu. He is not a saintly person. They're always causing difficulties to others for their own gain. This is cruelty. Like, only to enjoy our tongue, we are killing so many animals and eating them. And they are like, it's like our babies. Like children, they have no intelligence. Why are you killing them? This is not dharma. This is hingsa. So we heard the questions up to this point. The first question, what makes the sun rise? The second set of questions, which is what is heavier than the earth, what is higher than the sky, what is swifter than the wind, and what is more numerous than the blades of grass. Then we heard the next set of questions. What is dharma? What is the topmost dharma? And what is the greatest kind of forbearance? Then we heard what is the invincible enemy of mankind? What is the endless disease of man? Third, what is the nature of a real sadhu? Who is a real saintly person and who is not a saintly person? Then we heard the next set of questions, which is who is happy? Which has three answers. So there's a three-part answer. So it's who is happy, what is the most wonderful thing, what is the real path or the proper path of life, and fourth, what is newsworthy. So the answer to who is happy. First, Yudhisthira Maharaj said that one who has no debt is happy. We see people who are always indebted to others. It's hard to be fully peaceful and happy when you're always in debt. And when you're in debt, then there's always this anxiety and also the disturbance caused by people coming to fulfill the debt from you, to get their money back or whatever it is that you owe them. So actually we understand from this that what is it to be free of all debt? There's a verse in Sastra that it goes, Devarshi Bhutaptri Niram Pritrinam Nakinkaro Rini Charajan Sarvatmana Yo Sharanam Gato Mukunda Parihritya Kartam, which means that for that person who is completely surrendered to Shri Mukunda, who grants liberation, muktam tadati iti mukunda, that person has no indebtedness to the devas, devarshi, bhutaptri, any man, anyone in this world, any of one's relatives, one's parents, to one's society. We are freed from all kinds of debts. Because Krishna himself is the root, source of all existence. It is said, Yasmin tu stay, jagat tu stay. When that Sri Hari is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. So there's no debt. And also it is said that Yata turor mula nischanena, when you water the root of a tree, all the leaves of the trees are nourished and all the branches are nourished. But if you try to water just the leaves separately, then the tree itself will wither and perish. So you must water the root of the tree. So that is two verses. Those are two verses that are good to learn. Devarshi Bhutaptri and Yata Toror Mula Nischanena. Those two verses in their full. So that is the first part of the answer about who is happy, one who has no debt. And it said when you are in that family of Mukunda Sri Hari, then you have no debt to any man, to any government, to any society, to any demigods or anyone. Then the second part, one who is not in a foreign land, that in this world we are refugees. We are coming from the lower Shakti. Apariyamitastvamyam prakritim virime param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayadam dharyate jagat. We have the higher Shakti, higher principle. But we are bound we are now in this lower reality of inert matter. Earth, water, fire, air, and ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. These are the 8 elements that comprise the material existence. But the jiva is a higher principle than these. So as long as we are present here, it is like we are in a foreign land. Then how can we be happy? We see that also it is described that this is difficult for some people to understand. Like, we are born in this world, how can it be a foreign land? But the example is given if your parents are from a foreign country, like for example Russia, and then they travel with you, and they give birth to you in a foreign land. Still, it is like you are still, if your parents are Russian and you're taking birth in America, still you're Russian. So we don't come from that spiritual realm or that land of God directly. We are born in the Tatashta region, the marginal region between spirit and matter, between the transcendental abode and the material world. We're born in that tat, that shoreline. And then we have the choice to go to the transcendental abode or to stay in this material world or to come into this material world. So the point is, as long as we're in this material world, we cannot be truly happy. It is said, Jivara Swaruphoi Galoketi Stiti, our true home, our true land is that Goloka, that transcendental abode. So if we want to be really happy, then we'll transcend this matter, the material world, and all its fetters and go there. So the third point is that that person who is able to eat simply, meaning who is able to eat without so much difficulty, without starvation, without wandering here and there hungry, that person who is able to eat simply. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, another verse to learn, Prasade sarvadukanam hanirasyo pajayate prasanna chetaso hyaso buddhir paryavatishtate. One who gets my prasad, my mercy, my food. Prasad generally, it means mercy. Prasad is mercy, but really, as we understand it, it is Krishna's food remnants, prasad. When we offer something to Krishna and we get his remnants back, then that is prasad. So prasade sadavadukanam, prasad destroys all kinds of duk, misery. And then we become prasanna chetasohya, so we become joyful. Buddhir paryavatishate, our mind becomes tranquil and fixed. So therefore, if we want to be happy, we should take Mahaprasad. So these 3 things. To be happy, you have to be free from debt, not in a foreign land, and be able to take nice prasad. So you should surrender to Sri Krishna and be in his shelter, in his family, go to that transcendental Vrindavan and take Mahaprasad, then you'll be happy. So the next question is that what is wonderful in this world, that even though all living entities are flying into the mouth of death, we are on this machine of material nature. Krishna says in the Gita, another verse to learn, Yantra Rudrani Maya. We're all on this machine of material nature, like a conveyor belt, where we are going along the belt towards the mouth of death. And everyone is on this, and the as the years are passing, we are going towards death. We don't know exactly when death will come, but certainly we'll all die. Yet still people think, I will live forever. Even they may think I will die, but they don't act it out. It's not like they believe it. We see people, even though they see people dying all around them, they still are so absorbed in their daily material activities for ultimately useless, like futile pursuits. If they're really properly aware of the fact that they are certainly going to die, and then what should I do to be able to transcend this cycle of birth and death, or who am I truly, what is the nature of the spirit, then they can start progressing past that, past these material illusions, and enter that transcendental reality. Therefore it is said, this question therefore comes, that it is so wonderful that even though everyone is dying, still people think, they act as if I will live forever, or they think I will live forever. So that's very wonderful. Next is life's true path. It is said in Sastra, Tarko Pratishthanat, you cannot establish the truth through logical arguments. One day a logician will establish one so-called truth, and the next day a superior logician will khandan, will break that, or will crush that conception and establish his own conception. And then the next day another superior logician, or someone who is better at logic and arguments, will defeat that. So you cannot establish the truth through logic and arguments. Also, in the scriptures there are many different opinions that are given, but ultimately what is the topmost path to follow? So it is said that the best path to follow is that gone on by the Mahajans. Mahajana Gatapanta, that you should follow that path that is traversed by the Mahajans, the great personalities. So who are the Mahajans? In the Bhagavatam, 12 Mahajans are explained. Bali, Vyas, Brahma, Vyasaki, many like this are explained, 12, so that's another verse to learn. And ultimately the highest of the Brajabasis, or the highest of the Mahajans, are the Brajagopis. That's why if you follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our line, Mahaprabhu is Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesa Tanayasta Dhama Vrindavanam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur taught this. And Srila Gurudev said, if we don't know this verse, then it means we're not truly his disciple. So this is a very important verse to learn. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesa Tanayasta Dhama Vrindavanam. Our most worshipful object is that Nanda Nandan Krishna in Braj. And Vrindavan is non-different from himself. Then, how do we approach him? How do we worship in such a way that we can make a relationship with him? That is Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavaduva Genaya Kalpita. We follow the path shown by the Brajagopis. What is the evidence? Shrimad Bhagavatang Pramanang Amalam Premam Pramartam Mahan Shri Chaitanya Matamidar Tatradarona Para. We don't accept any other conception. We follow Mahaprabhu's conception, which is follow the Brajadevis. If you want to be free from lust, if you want to transcend this material world and all its attachments and aversions, then you take shelter of the Brajagopis and follow Ramya Kachidupasana. What is Ramya Kachidupasana? That is in Katyayani Vrat. We see Katyayani Vrat establishes what is real Ramya Kachidupasana. The gopis perform this worship, and this is the manner through which we can come into the shelter of the Siddhas, Srimati Radhika, and ultimately make relationship with Sri Krishna. So that is the life's real path. And then what is newsworthy? What is ultimately newsworthy, as told by Yudhisthira, is that we are all living in this material samsara, and we are being cooked by time, and the fire is sun, and also the heat, and the fire also below is the three tops, three kinds of heat, which is adhyatmik, adhibautik, and adhidaivika. Suffering or heat, or like pain and suffering that comes to us from our own mind and senses, our body, from others, and from natural forces. So these are the three kinds of heat. Then also we are being stirred by the ladle of the seasons, and the fuel is the passing of day and night. So in this way we are all suffering in this samsara, and we should seek how to get out. And that is the real news in this world. So this is the story about how the Pandavas, when they were first residing in Kamyavana, how they came to Dharma-kunda. So after Yudhisthira gave all these answers, then the Yaksa appeared in the form of Yamaraja, and he revealed, actually, Yudhisthira, I am your father. I came here to test you, and I'm very pleased with you. So now, before this happened, actually, the Yaksha said, first, pick one of your brothers. So he said, I picked Nakul. why do you pick Nakula? You should take Bhima, he is the most powerful fighter, or Arjuna, the most skilled archer. But he said, no, I am always equal towards everyone. And we have two mothers, Kunti and Madri. Kunti was the mother of Yudhisthira and Bhima and Arjuna, but Madri was the mother of Nakula and Sahadev. So if only the sons of Kunti remain, it will not be equal. I will have it so that if Nakula is given back, then we will have one son of Madri and one son of Kunti remaining. So this Yaksha was so pleased, he said, no, now I'm so happy with you, I've seen your virtuousness, so let them all come back. So they all came back, and then this Yaksha appeared as Yamaraj and revealed that actually I am your father. This is the original, like, I am your father example from the scriptures. So this is the story of the Pandavas meeting with the Yaksha at Dharma-kunda and the questions therein. Haribo, Dandavat Pranams. Chalo.